Coming up on episode 57, we look at WordPress 3.7. Hey everyone, welcome to another amazing episode of Press This. I'm your host, Matt.
And I'm Dan.
Episode 57 of this crazy WordPress show that we've been doing now well over a year.
So exciting.
We just got back from WordCamp Boston.
WordCamp Boston.
That was also really fun.
Yeah. Thank you all for showed up and kind of said hey to us. It was really, really cool to see.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a big star.
Yeah, you're a big star, yeah.
People are coming up to Dan like,
yeah.
I kind of
who's
know
that
you.
guy? Who's that guy? I think I have to stop in maybe a couple episodes a week in WordPress or something to get my rep up a little bit.
So again, if this is your first time tuning in, thanks for joining us. What is the show all about? Dan and I take a look at some of the leading WordPress stuff, whether it be plugins, themes, or otherwise. Put them head to head, wrap some context around, and give it to you in some kind of educational fashion.
As always, folks, subscribe to us at slickumstudio.com/subscribe for our newsletters. We're going to see a little bit more activity on the blog, I think, soon. So definitely check that out, slickumstudio.com/blog. And of course, folks, if you're watching us here on YouTube, the big old red subscribe button's right there. What you waiting for?
Right. It's no secret we are the #1 WordPress show on the web.
No secret.
Let's jump into what we're talking about today. WordPress 3.7 is out. You're probably already running it. If you're not, what the heck are you waiting for?
Yeah, and
if you're waiting, it's probably because you have a super custom website. You're afraid to hit the old update button.
We'll get to that in a moment. But on that note, I think the biggest change, if you are kind of on the fence, if you don't know what it is, you saw that update rolled out. You know, it's not a 3.6 point bleh. It's it's a more major. It's still a point update, but it's a little bit more major. It's 3.7. We're here to talk about a little bit of what that's going to look like for you.
The #1 thing that people are freaking out about are those auto updates.
Yep.
That's now going to come standard with 3.7. You can shut it off if you want to. Some folks are on one hand saying, "Boy, this is crazy. What happens if something breaks when it updates?" On the other hand, the people who are actually developing WordPress are saying, "Look, this is only going to happen in point release, 3.7 point blah," and so on. Sure, they're going to eventually look to it to do major updates, and sure, you can set it up to auto update your themes and plugins. But for even like the last 2 years, I don't remember doing an update, even a major update, and having something break, or malfunction or anything like that. So I mean, I wouldn't be too worried about it. Granted, there are some major customized sites that are out there.
I think that's the issue, is that you might get into the point where you have this site, maybe even plugins, just specific plugins that are very, very specific. They don't really tap in to just the core functionality well enough, and we get these issues that may arise if there's an auto update. And it is kind of something to mention, I think, that you can change or you can add some filters in the back end there to stop core updates from updating as opposed to just minor updates. So you have a little control there. So it's not like you're just being pushed out into the ocean here if that is your issue. But it is something that will be enabled by default, and a lot of people aren't going to know how to go into the back end and do that, and they might run into some issues.
Yeah, I mean, even some managed hosting providers are not supporting the automatic updates because they want to update it on their schedule, and that's fine because they have their own infrastructure and they build their own stuff for hosting WordPress sites. So they're disabling it. You might see that in the news, but that's because they're already updating it automatically for you.
Right.
This is going to be great for if you're selling WordPress stuff for your clients, right? Because now you don't have to worry about it. If they're on like a GoDaddy or something like that, you're not going to have to worry about what's happening with updating their site. And hey, so that's better for you, right?
It's better for you from a development standpoint, or even just from that standpoint of just updating plugins for the end user. All disabled by default. You can actually also update or add filters to update plugins and themes. So literally, you can just have WordPress update for you. As you just keep downloading things and adding things, they will update for you automatically.
Nice. What else do we have?
Cool.
Ooh, stronger password recommendations.
Yes, this is huge.
This is huge. I mean, what the heck? What's taking so long, right?
Yeah, it's really great. I actually tried it out a little earlier, putting in birthdays and even random birthdays with months and years, trying to put in my name, putting in username information, and it was really great to see that it worked on all fronts. So I did test it out a little bit.
Better global support now. We're going to be having some better language support for localizing these sites and things like that.
Yep.
And accessibility, screen readers, things like that. So that's really good.
If you're watching this from another country, if you're watching another language, it's interesting, but listening to us talk another language. But if you do download WordPress now, it kind of knows and it kind of pings and knows what language you're trying to install other than English, and it will do it for you, hopefully, or on paper, it will do it automatically now.
This next feature is something that you really were into here. Make email.
Yeah. He's like, look at my notes. And it's like, oh my God.
So why don't you go ahead and explain that one?
Yeah. So there's a new filter, and not a new filter. They've modified the original WP Notify filter that originally would say, if somebody posts a comment on your website, let the moderator know. What they've changed on this is that now you can actually tweak who that goes to, and you can add additional folks. So it's really great if you're running like a small business or a business and you have somebody who is doing your sort of media for you, and you don't want to give them too much access. It's a really great way to basically take that notification and send it to somebody else from the dashboard, so that they can sort of start managing those comments as well.
Yeah. One that I'm excited about is the new improved search feature.
Yes. Yes.
And this is like a super long time coming. This has always been a pain, to the point where folks were either embedding Google search into their site. Yep. And more recently, a commercial plugin that came out, WP Search, I think, and we'll hook it up into the show notes. Yep. And it was a true search engine for your WordPress website. It would go into custom post types and posts and pages and all that stuff, media. So it's always been an issue, and they're finally starting to work on it, make it a little bit better. Yep. That and automatic updates is something that I'm super excited to see.
Yeah, just making it easier to use. So it is so far from what I've been reading, what I've been experimenting with and seeing, it's a very, very welcome update for sure. With a lot of, I don't think it sounds like a huge update, but I think once you actually see it in action, I think it makes a lot more sense. And
exactly.
It's
like iOS 7, right?
Yeah. That's a little different, but
then there's a whole slew of things for the geeks, for the developers that are out there. New next post link functions, date queries, some better support with multi-site, some inline doc improvements.
Yeah, basically, if you're kind of like going through and you're not familiar with some new sort of action or filter or something, the documentation there is ideally supposed to be a lot better for you. They've made displaying sorts of arrays of your blog posts and across multiple sites. If you are somebody who's like reselling and you have a lot of different clients with different websites, they've made that easier as well. Date queries are great because now you can display posts like before or after a certain date, which is really cool.
So that's sort of the highlight, the 30,000 foot view of 3.7, which now we're already looking forward to 3.8, which Matt Mullenweg is the head of this time around. So that's going to be really interesting. What we're going to see come from this is sort of getting MP6 into the mix, which is going to be the whole new look and feel of the dashboard, right? Of dashboard and the admin UI, things like that. Some theme page stuff that they're going to be updating. And of course, I already know there's going to be some further integration with Jetpack coming, because I'm sure they're really going to push that as a one-stop
shop for everything. I mean,
plugin thing.
At this point, they're making it so visually friendly on the dashboard. Why not continue to do that with your Jetpack plugin and make it really sort of almost difficult to start going into too many different kinds of plugins out there? Just really putting it in one package.
Right, exactly. So good stuff. Go out there and update your 3.7 sites. Maybe back up first if you're if you're afraid of what might happen. Get yourself going on automatic updates, as always.
If you want to know where to back up, we have a great video from like a year ago.
That's right.
Where we talk about Back WP Up and Backup Buddy.
We should revisit that video, because that's always an important topic. So check it out. Let us know what you think in the notes. If you have any questions about it, post it in the YouTube comments. As always, we are Slocum Studio. We have a bunch of themes now for sale. Free, by the way. Over 15,000 downloads. I can't believe it. In just a couple of months, people are using our stuff. If you're doing a little blogging site or business site, check it out. It's epic and minimized. Both can be found on WordPress.org. You need some support, come to us for a little bit of money. Just a little bit of money. That's all it takes.
And I also want to say that on the end of the web shows, we also have a survey out there.
That's right.
That we're doing. So please, we'd love your feedback. Go to slocumstudio.com/survey. We can actually give us a little bit of feedback on our web shows, what's working, what's not, sort of kind of the use of our products, things like that. We'd really appreciate it.
Right, exactly. /survey, right?
/survey,
Yeah, I was thinking it was something else, but that was another thing that we did a while ago. So go ahead and hit subscribe too on YouTube. We'd love to be the #1 WordPress show on the web. Thanks, guys.
Thanks a lot.